You've practiced your lines to convince us you're fine, but I know that's not where you are. And once in a blue moon you may come undone. We're made up of the same blood. I'll be your medicine if you let me. Give you reason to get out of bed. Sister, I'm trying to hold off the lightning and help you escape from your head.
Today marks 1 full year since I bought this van and started this crazy journey. If you're not familiar, after living out of my first gen Honda CR-V for about a year, I decided this was the life I wanted to continue living. So I bought a 1986 Volkswagen Vanagon Syncro of February 2023 with the plan of living in it full time. After a couple months of traveling in the stock interior, it was time to hunker down in the garage and make this thing my home. But after that was done and the interior was finished, it was time to finally hit the road and live out of my van. Fast forward to today, a year in the future, and I have been living in this thing for 222 consecutive days, and I have some thoughts. One of the biggest things I've come to realize is that this is not an easy life. Pretty much everything is harder than just living a normal life. If you have to use the bathroom, you gotta find somewhere to use the bathroom. You gotta find somewhere to sleep every single night and hope someone doesn't wake you up in the middle of the night and tell you that you have to leave now, or you can even get a ticket. Even just stuff as simple as laundry can turn into a full day activity, and the errands are constant. I can only carry 2 or 3 paper towel rolls at a time. My fridge is essentially just a small cooler. And anytime I run out of anything, like toothpaste, soap, deodorant, I have to go to the store, which of course is normal, but I have to do it so often in the van because I have a very limited storage capacity. Because I'm working with a very small space here, I can't keep a whole bunch of everything, so I don't have to restock all the time. I know that sounds minor, but imagine you go to the store about 100 times a year normally, which is about once every 3 days. In a van, you're probably gonna have to go twice as much, which is now 200 times a year you have to go to the store. So it starts to add up. Start to add van breakdowns and van maintenance into that list, and everything compiles to make this just a more stressful and problematic life than normal. But the thing is, that's not really a bad thing. As more and more studies come out about what truly makes humans happy, it's becoming more and more clear that doing hard things, difficult things, challenges is good for us. Because that's what we do. Humans are problem-solving machines, and without real problems, we kind of start to make stuff up and can become miserable. And what I've found, at least personally, is that the ease of modern day life, having no real problems, kind of led me down that path of just making problems out of nothing and becoming depressed and anxious for essentially no reason.
We were kids in a car having light-hearted arguments. We don't know what's there till it's gone. Just hear me out and you might understand. We're made up of the same blood. I'll be your medicine if you let me. Give you reason to get out.
Living this life has kind of solved that problem though. For whatever reason, a little bit of added stress, a little bit of added challenge every single day just makes everything else seem easier. But there's one more gigantic problem with van life, and that is the complete and absolute freedom you get living this life. Look at that, holy crap.
I'm ready now to swim. The air in my lungs may not last very long, but I'm in.
So I've been wanting to go to this spot for years, and of course my initial plan was to climb on this thing and go to the middle, but I believe someone died and they have put signs up everywhere saying do not climb it. They put barbed wire around everywhere where you can climb up. I think I could still climb up that right there pretty easily, But this bridge is actually still owned by the railing company, so if someone dies, it's their fault technically. And maybe if I was alone and not filming myself and incriminating myself, I would do it. But today on camera, I'm not gonna do it, at least in front of the camera. Alright, so what in the world am I talking about? How is van life being better for me on the road and the feeling of freedom so incredible? How are those problems? Well, it's hard to imagine any other lifestyle. This is something I haven't really heard a lot of other people talk about or really point out, but people who do van life and do this kind of lifestyle, at least in the way that I'm doing it, tends to just be a part of them forever. And I've talked about this with other people, and it's like the idea of going back to a normal life just feels weird. This feels more real than being in a place that you're basically stuck in and you can only leave a couple times a year. That feeling of travel and freedom, not having to worry about all the BS that goes on in the world, is highly addicting. Like, I can deal with having to find a bathroom and doing laundry in weird places, but what's really hard to comprehend is this not being common anymore. Like, I'm able to do these amazing things, hang out with friends all over the country and see these incredible places all the time. And it's like, to think one day I'm not gonna be doing this anymore, it's just weird. It doesn't compute. That is my biggest problem with van life. The realization that one day this isn't gonna be my life anymore. So I was actually running pretty late on this week's video because I have to be up in the mountains and at a cabin Thursday, which is tomorrow, which is I usually have until Saturday. But I'm doing my birthday trip this weekend, so I was running low on time, and I was like, the weather around here was just so cinematic. I mean, you guys saw all the fog and the rain and everything. I was just like, I want to make something super cinematic, or at least try. I've been working on that lately. And like just some sort of story behind it. And I think I have an interesting take on what the biggest problem in van life is, because everyone's like, oh, the toilet's hard, oh, the showering's hard. I'm like, no, that's not what I think about at all. So I kind of wanted to play around with this incredibly cinematic weather and location and kind of put a story to it, see if I could do something, you know, a little story time with Riley. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more stuff like this, I post every single week. Thinking about posting more often, but every single week for now. Subscribe if you enjoyed it, please. Comment, like, it helps me out a ton, makes me continue or be able to continue doing all this stuff and making content for you awesome people. You guys have been blowing up my crap lately. I've been saying, hey, if you guys want to subscribe, and I've gotten more subscribers than ever, the quickest I've ever gotten them. It's absolutely crazy, and I'm getting like really close to being able to fully sustain myself doing this full time, which is mind-blowing to me. So yeah, again, thank you guys so much. I hope you like this little bit of a different video from your boy, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Bye-bye. I'll be skiing on my birthday. It's gonna be so fun.